Fast food workers, what is the one menu option at your employment that you would recommend people never eat? McDonald's sweet tea, pound of sugar per gallon. These threads are never very useful. It always goes. 10 years ago I worked at this one fast food joint with a criminally negligent manager. Therefore you should never eat at any of the 20,000 other locations that might have perfectly competent employees. I used to work at Subway, and honestly, as long as the management is upstanding, then everything is fine. We had countless safety procedures and we literally had to wash our hands every time we did something. I just ate Subway and was terrified when I first started reading your post. Oh, that's good. I bet you're glad he didn't mention the secret ingredient in the chipotle sauce. If there's anybody scared about Five Guys, it's fine. There's no freezer. The burgers are made from slabs of raw meat the day of or the day before. Fries are made every day from the potatoes you see stacked up. All of the toppings are fresh except for mushrooms. They come in sealed bags, but nothing is notoriously gross. One thing I will say is that ordering a large fry is always a bad idea. The difference between a large fry and a regular fry is surprisingly small, especially when it's busy. Just order 2 regular fries and you'll get a huge number of fries. One time I was at Subway and the last time I ordered mayo on my sandwich, and they barely put any on. So this time I decided to order extra mayo. The person making my sandwich gave me this angry look and then unloaded half the bottle of mayo on my sandwich. I had to tell him twice to stop. The joke was on him though, because I effing love mayo. On that note, am I the only one who feels that mayo lovers take a lot of sh from anti-mayo people? Growing up, whenever I put mayo on anything there would be someone nearby going, oh god, mayo is disgusting, how can you eat that? I eat it because it's effing delicious and is one of the foundations of a well-crafted Sammy. Not really a health concern, but most people are surprised when I tell them about Wendy's chili. The meat comes from hamburger patties that sat on the grill too long to serve to customers. They take them and put them in a bin and then throw them in the fridge. When the chili is made, they take it out, nuke it, boil it, chop it up, and dump them in the chili. It's all safe, but a lot of people seemed upset when I told them about it. I don't work there anymore and things are probably different now, but when I worked at McDonald's I accidentally left a whole bag of about 100 chicken nuggets out on a counter for way too long. They melted into a pool of liquid. I never understood why, but they were completely indiscernible as being the nuggets I once knew. Had to make myself a 20-piece just to get over the sight of the nugget pool. Still delicious. One time I went to Harvey's and I asked for a triple burger with bacon. The guy behind the cash looked at me for a moment and then said, no, you're getting a double burger, no bacon. I shrugged and gave him the money, and he gave me the double burger. He was right. A double burger was enough to make me full. I worked McDonald's for almost 7 years. The advice I would give anyone who asks questions like this is to simply not go to any restaurant in the hour before they close. I agree with this, but if you absolutely have to before you order, say this: I am so sorry, I know it's close to closing time. What is on the menu? That won't be a bother to make. That may make all the difference in the world to the amount of time you spend on the toilet in the next few hours. McDonald's employee here. A lot of people choose to be healthy and order our grilled chicken instead. Not a lot of people realize that they're eating at a fast food joint, and we will find a way to make anything unhealthy, anything grilled chicken. On principle, I wouldn't eat, and here's why. To keep it from sticking to the grill, we use 3 squirts of liquid margarine on the bottom of it to keep it juicy. Once we've laid the frozen blocks of chicken, 3 more squirts of liquid margarine are applied to the tops. TLDR, you can't eat healthy at a fast food joint, even if you order grilled chicken. Used to wash dishes in a restaurant and saw some effed up stuff. Once a waitress came in to pick up a plate with a steak on it, turned around a bit too quickly and the steak slid off and landed right near my feet. She just picked it up, flipped it over on the plate to the more attractive side and walked out. She didn't even make an effort to brush it off or anything. Not fast food, but I used to work in an Italian restaurant that made a lot of pizza. Try to avoid quirky pizza toppings, such as green olives, meatballs, spinach, artichokes, sauerkraut, sun-dried tomatoes, etc. Basically anything that's not on any of the preset specialty pizzas offered. In general, The food handling was about the same as any other restaurant. But the issue with these toppings is there just isn't enough turnover. The ingredients are purchased in bulk, just like pepperoni or black olives, but they aren't ordered frequently enough to be replaced once they're no longer fresh. They'll be replaced before they are actually rotten, but that's a long time after they are considered unfit for consumption, particularly at a nicer restaurant. I worked at a popular fast food joint for a few years in HS. Do not order veggie burgers, especially if you do it for religious reasons. It's cooked in a microwave and handled by people and utensils that have made contact with meat products. Seriously, if you want a veggie burger of such a low quality, just buy some frozen patties at a store, grill them yourself, and you will be way better off. Worked at Zaxby's in college. People would ask for unsalted fries, maybe because they believed that would guarantee that the fries would be cooked fresh. We just threw fries that were already cooked back in the fryer grease to cook off the salt. Any fish item from a fast food joint not specializing in fish. The exception is during Lent sales. When I was a young buck, I worked at Burger King. Here is how the oil rotation went. You had 4 vats of oil that you cooked fries in. And boy did you cook fries, tons of them. After about 2 days worth, the oil got too dark for fries, so we switched it over to the ones for chicken. Since it was darker, it was okay. Then that goes on for a week. After a week of massive frying, the oil is black as motor oil. At that point, it's switched to the fish fillet vat. That's the only thing you cook in that vat. At my current job I haven't come across anything like that, but when I worked at Dairy Queen I told all my friends to go to a different location in general. The manager was adult and would deal with the fly problem by spraying Raid everywhere without covering the open candy and cones. I thought about calling the police after I quit. The ice. Unless they break down the whole ice machine. Any ice machine over let's say 3 years old is going to make mold, and fast. We clean our bad boy once a week, and I'm still greeted with mold. Been an employee for 4 years. Completely stopped drinking ice from all fast food places soon as I found a caterpillar-sized chunk of mold in the ice about a week after it was cleaned. That ice machine must have been old and in a confined space where it got pretty warm around the machine. I've worked with small to industrial sized ice makers on a frequent basis, and I've only ever seen mold once. It was in a ballpark concession stand in Louisiana, where the inside got to be over 115 degrees F on average during the summer when it wasn't in use. Sometimes it would get so hot some of the ice would thaw, leaving a bunch of water at the bottom until we could bail it out and turn the AC on to make more ice. I can't say I've ever been employed in a fast food joint, but I have one thing that's semi-relevant. My friends and I celebrate all manner of things with Dairy Queen ice cream cakes, New Year's Eve, birthdays, times we realize we haven't had cake in like a month. But once, a few years ago, we got a cake. My friend got one of the last pieces, and as he ate it, he bit into something hard. After fishing it out of his mouth, he discovered it was a refine tooth. There was a goddamn tooth in our refine ice cream cake. And yes, he checked his mouth to make sure that one of his own teeth hadn't come out somehow. I saw the damn thing. It was a tooth. I was planning to take it back, but he did something with the tooth. Threw it out or something. Not that I thought they would believe me anyway. I worked in the kitchen of an Applebee's for years when I was in high school and college. It is just a glorified fast food chain with a bar. The riblets are actually pork spine. That doesn't bother me, but I always felt that the name was misleading. So I've been told that this has changed since I worked there, but even then I refuse to eat it. I used to work at Subway, and as many of you know, there are 2 types of chicken. The strips and the chicken breast. Both come into the store frozen and well taken care of. The gross part comes into how we keep them ready to serve. The strips are fine, no need to fear, they are kept the same as any other meat. The breast however is disgusting. At the beginning of the day we are told to get them out of the freezer and put them into hot water where they remain all day. Then at the end of the day you have to take them out and squeeze the gross chicken water out of them, which by now has made the meat soggy. Then we put them in a plastic container where they await the same treatment the next day. You may think this is a good way of keeping it fresh, but I assure you it's not. After a while that breast starts getting really mushy and smelling like yet we are told to just keep on serving it. TL. DR. Whenever ordering chicken anything at Subway, always ask for strips, never the chicken breast. Let me chime in. I worked at McDonald's for a year or two and learned enough about the back of the stage. So here's what I can say. Your experience will vary. First, my first few days working there, like someone said, the policy to follow is if you won't eat it, don't serve it. I accidentally dropped 2 patties before getting them to the cooker grill. I quickly tossed them and grabbed 2 from the freezer. The working shift manager looked at me and said these exact words: "Hey man, don't throw the stuff away. The germs and bacteria is gonna get killed when you cook it." That made me think twice about this particular location, which I will say I never ate from again unless I went on break. Second, I switched to the overnight shift as they got paid a bit more than minimum wage and I needed the extra hours to add up more cash. Had a bill to pay off. So every night around 2 to 3 AM, the Walmart workers would go on break between this time and come to our drive-thru. We called it the Walmart rush. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if it's the same way now, but we weren't supposed to pull more than 6 patties and only supposed to drop fries, nuggets, and tenders as they were ordered. When the Walmart rush started, if we had anything left over, instead of cooking them fresh, we were told to just throw the amount ordered in the microwave to make it seem as if they were just cooked. Still on overnight. Sometimes when it was late and people would do a big order, I didn't do this but I seen it happen. People would grab and pull apart older burgers on the drawer and just slap together what was needed to be made. Third, when people would come to the window, day or night, instead of the inside to say something was wrong with their order, a quick pull apart and replace of the buns was the quick fix. It worked on everything. I asked for no ketchup. Pull the top bun off, grab a new one, put it through the toaster, and slap it on. If you're going to get an order fixed, please go on the inside and do so. Fourth, ice cream cones. Believe it or not, it's not as good as it looks just because they have paper wrapped around the bottom and hand it to you in a napkin. Before the napkin, it was touched by someone's bare hands. You do not have to put on gloves to handle this product. Not at all. Actually, this goes for any product McDonald's serves. Only time they care is when the person is a cook. Oh god. The cook who taught me on the grill was a big sweaty guy who had his dreads hang all over the food, and he smelled horrible. I won't say his name. If ever happens and the cook looks like he's dirty, you can request for a change of person who handles your food. They cannot deny your service for doing so. I could go on forever and even tell you the horrors of whatever, but I truly want to go and watch movies with my girly girl. Hold up, one last thing. The storage back room. The foods are frozen solid, yes, but when a box of packed meats were knocked over, they're frozen. Just put them back in the box. Stothev helped put the stuff back and you to come back out front. Tomatoes, pickles, and onions. You put on glove S when you put them on the bun. But, most of the time, the workers I was around did not change their gloves. They just grabbed onions and dipped right on into the pickles and put 2 or 3 on the burger. Let's not mention the fact the products soaked in their juices to maintain the flavor. So when you didn't change gloves, you basically cross-contaminated. Feel sorry for anyone allergic, but this problem was dealt with as they started using separate tongs in order to grab the items. Okay, I'm done. No one is really gonna read this anyways. I'm going to watch movies now. Be safe when you order food, my Reddit family.